All right, guys, here are more complex problems. These are the composite figures where you have two right triangles side by side or a rectangle and a triangle. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And using the rules that we talked about in the previous videos. So I'm going to try to work this out with one hand while I hold the video with the other. We'll see how that works. But let's say that this distance is 24, the length of 24, and then this piece is 13, right? Oh, by the way, this was supposed to also be 13. So that's given like that. And you want to know what x is. When these two pieces are the same, if these are the same, then these are going to also be the same. So this is going to be 12 and 12. So we can recognize this as one of our Pythagorean triples. Do y'all remember the 5, 12, 13? So this is a triple. It's the 5, 12, 13, as I said. We have the 12, we have the 13, so therefore x is 5. But if you don't like memorizing triples, then we would see that we have this top triangle here as a right triangle. So we would say 12 squared plus x squared equals 13 squared. And we would have 144 plus x squared equals 169. Subtract the 144, and x squared equals 25. Take the square root, and x equals 5. And that's it for that one, all right? For number 2, there are no angles present, just like there were no angles present here. When you don't see angles, you know it's Pythagorean theorem, whether it's the triple or a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So no angles, that means we have to have two sides, which we do if you look right here on the right side. You always start on the side where you have more information. So we're going to start on this side right here. We have to find this piece in order to then find this piece. Because to find x, we would have to know two sides. We would have to know this side and that side. The only thing we can do is solve for this side using these two in the Pythagorean theorem. So we call this one y, and we can do the Pythagorean theorem for the right side, and we can say 8 squared plus y squared equals 4 square roots of 5 squared. Then 8 squared is 64 plus y squared equals, we square the 4, we get 16. We square the square root of 5, that just makes the square root symbol go away. We're left with the number underneath, which is 5. So that's 16 times 5. So now I have 64 plus y squared equals 80. Subtract 64. And y squared equals 16. Take the square root of both sides, y equals 4. So now I know that this is 4, right? So now I can do the Pythagorean theorem on the left side, and I can say 2 squared plus 4 squared equals x squared. By the way, if it's a right angle on this side, we know it's a right angle on this side also, which means that x is our hypotenuse, yes? All right, so then this becomes 4 plus 16 equals x squared. This is 20 equals x squared. Take the square root of both sides. So unlike 16, which was a perfect square because it has a number that multiplies with itself to give you 16, there is no perfect integer or whole number that multiplies with itself to give you 20. So if you punch 20 in the square root in the calculator, you get a decimal. We're not doing decimals, we have to break down the radical. So a perfect square factor of 20 is 4. So 20, square root of 20 becomes square root of 4 times square root of 5. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 5 cannot be simplified, so it is 2 square roots of 5, and that is x. That is our final answer. All right, yes, this is the final answer right here. This was just something to help us get there. All right, number 3. Number 3, we see that if we were to draw a line right here, we could make a 45, 45, 90 right triangle where the hypotenuse is given. If the hypotenuse is 3 square roots of 2, that means each leg is going to be 3 because that's the rule for the 45, 45, 90. The hypotenuse is always the square root of 2 times the leg. Well, the square root of 2 times 3 means that 3 is the leg. 3 are both of your legs are 3. So that means that A is 3. So A is 3. And then this piece is going to be the same as this piece. So we're going to mark this the same. We're going to bring this 4 down. And now I have a 3 here and a 4 here. So this is 3 plus 4 gives me 7. So that B equals 7. All right. So that's that one. All right, then we go on to this one. Now we have a rectangle with a 30, 60, 90 triangle. If we draw our segment here, we'll make the 30, 60, 90. This side's going to be the same as this, so 2 square roots of 3 is going to come right here. This is going to be our long side. Remember that the long leg of a 30, 60, 90 triangle is equal to the short leg times the square root of 3. So 2 times the square root of 3 means that 2 is our short leg. So here's a 2 right here. And for the 30, 60, 90, if we double the short leg, we will get the hypotenuse. So A is going to equal 4. So if this is 2 and this whole thing is 6, then that means 6 minus 2, this part is 4. This is just a coincidence that these are both 4. Don't memorize that. And then, so that means B is 4 also. A and B are both 4. So 2 square roots of 3 comes across. It's the long leg, meaning the number times the square root of 3 is the short leg. So 2 is the short leg. Double the short leg to get the hypotenuse. A is 4. So this 2 right here being the short leg was from here to here. The whole thing is 6 and this portion is 2, the remaining portion is 4. And this piece is the same as this piece. So that's why B is 4. All right, last 2 problems. All right, here we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle. The hypotenuse is given as 12, and we are looking for the long leg. Remember, it's always easier to go through the short leg because the short leg is half of the long leg. The short leg is half of the hypotenuse for a 30, 60, 90. So we have a 6 here, and then the long leg is always the short leg times the square root of 3, so that is 6 square roots of 3. And that's it for that one. Over here, we have a 30, 60, 90. Oh, by the way, this was supposed to be a 30. That's given to you. Sorry about that. All right, so this is what's given. We have the hypotenuse here is given on the right side again. You have to start where you have the most information. You have no information about any of the sides on the left side. But on the right side, you do have that the hypotenuse is 10. So we'll start there. Hypotenuse is 10. D is going to be my short leg. Remember that the short leg is between the 60 and the right angle, or across from the 30. If this is 60, this one has to be 30, right? They didn't have to tell you that. They did not have to tell you that. If this is 60 and it's a right triangle, that's automatically going to be 30. Anyway, short leg is going to be half the hypotenuse, so D is 5. This is going to be our long leg. Long leg is equal to the short leg times the square root of 3. So this is 5 square roots of 3 for B. So now it's the long leg for the triangle on the right side, but this same segment is now the short leg for the triangle on the left side. So now to get my long leg, C is the long leg, I'm going to do C is going to equal the short leg, which is 5 square roots of 3, times the square root of 3. Because the long leg is always equal to the short leg times the square root of 3. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is square root of 9. So 5 times the square root of 9. What's the square root of 9? 3. So C equals 15. All right. When we come over here to A, the hypotenuse is just double the short leg. If you do 2 times 5 square roots of 3, you will get 10 square roots of 3 for A. Alrighty, guys, those were 6 of the more complex problems, bringing all of the rules together. So, hope that helped. Bye, good luck.